Please read the disclaimer. Hello, XRP holders. Happy Sunday. I appreciate you joining me. I know there's football right now, football playoffs. So if you are still interested in XRP, even though the price action is in the toilet and people are, we had 1 week that things were going up and we were like, yeah, ooh la la. And now things are, boring again. People want to take their phone, throw it at the wall. Hopefully you don't do that, right? Don't break your phone. But these are, I just read something today. Someone wrote that he thinks, this was Taylor Hill. He said, I think that the sentiment right now in the crypto market is the lowest that I have seen it since I started, covering crypto. And it could be that even though if we go and we look at the fear and greed index, it's at neutral, basically. I still think that the mindset of many people right now in the crypto market is a down mindset, meaning they don't really care about what's happening. They look at all the other things, and we have to remember that the other things might be nice and shiny now, but they will have their pillbacks too, right? We'll see what happens as the markets open up this week with the whole situation coming from the EU and Trump's 10% tariffs. And we'll get to what President of France just had to say in just a second. But stock market futures react to Trump's 10% EU tariffs. We're going to find out first tonight. But then tomorrow there's no market, so we're not going to see how the actual market, like, because futures, yes, futures can drop, but there's not a lot of trading going on while futures are happening. So only on Tuesday really we'll see what happens, and I don't think that the ETFs have much trading. Futures are stock market futures and commodity futures and things like that. Not there's no futures for the ETFs. So we'll see how that plays out. And then on Wednesday, we have December pending home sales data, which could be very interesting because the whole situation with home sales has been in the headlines in the US, with Trump, of course, barring the companies and all that happened there from purchasing assets. And on Thursday, we have the US quarter 3 2025 GDP data. The previous GDP was very, very good. A lot of it was influenced because of the tariffs. So we'll see what happens this GDP. And then we have on Thursday also the PCE inflation data, which is the preferred value of inflation that the Fed prefers, that it likes to look at that to see where the inflation is going. And we have PMI data coming on Friday, and 10% of the S&P 500 companies are reporting this week. It is a short but busy week ahead. Right? All these things could have an effect. And of course, President Trump can say something, right? And he can, do something, say something about Iran, that whole situation, which it seems that the internet is coming back, or like slowly, and there's a lot of bad stories coming out there. Maybe he changes his mind. I don't know if I should tell you this, but my wife said to me, she was like, oh, I already thought that we were going to have a week's vacation off because I thought that the US would potentially attack Iran, Iran would attack Israel, and then we wouldn't have work. But so far, that hasn't happened. But anyway, President of France, Macron, calls for the EU to activate its most potent trade weapon against the US after President Trump's tariff threat over Greenland. By the way, of course, she was only joking. I just walked by the building. They got hit by a ballistic missile. When was it already? 6 months ago? I don't even remember when it was. So of course we don't want that to happen. Of course, it fell really close to me. So of course I'm not interested in that. Macron is now calling for the use of the EU's anti-coercion instrument. If used against the US, it could restrict US access to the EU markets, potentially blocking US banks from EU procurement, and targeting US tech giants. This trade weapon has never been used before. So if the trade wars escalate, of course, that will hurt the market. And we remember what happened last time with the crypto market when there was escalation in the trade war on October 10th. Now, maybe the crypto market has already got its zbang, right? And the stock markets really didn't. So maybe it's the stock market's turn. Maybe that will happen. It will be interesting to see what happens with precious metals because if there's uncertainty, usually money flows into that as a safe haven. But gold and silver has been so volatile that maybe it's not a safe haven anymore. Or maybe people don't look at it like that. So that's going to be very interesting to see how this week plays out. Now, listen, I continue to use the tactic of slow but steady, right? So I still have the positions open here for Bitcoin and for XRP on our partner BYDFI. Yes, the XRP position was open more, but up more, but it pulled back a little bit. And the Bitcoin position was in the red, and now it's 27% in the green. So as you can see, this is a tactic that I am using right now. I'm not going too aggressive with the leverage right now, but I am using leverage. Now, if you are interested, we do have a really amazing promotion right now with BYDFI where you can trade. And the more you trade, you can get more XRP, up to $10,000 worth of XRP into your account. Real XRP. So if you are interested, link is in the description down below. You go to my website, you sign up, go to BYDFI here, click register, and then you can sign up. If you do become one of the whales that are trading, you can get access to the whale group that is part of our Telegram network. The regular group is free and open to everybody, but if you do trade over a certain amount or deposit over a certain amount, you can be part of that group. And then you have access to me, a chat with me, and with a representative of BYDFI, which is an important thing. I know many people say, oh, you go to an exchange and there's no one to talk to, or if I have any problems. Well, here you're going to have access, and you're going to have access to me and chat with me. So you have any questions you want to go direct to me, then you can find that out in the whale chat if you are interested. Okay, link is in the description down below. Again, I will get a commission, so thank you for that. And again, please trade responsibly. So this is another thing that could be a good signal for altcoins is the fact that the Russell 2000 index hit another all-time high and gave its highest weekly close ever in history. Why is this the best signal for altcoins? Russell 2000 is small cap US stocks, and small caps usually lead when money is ready to take more risk. When people are scared, they hide in large caps and cash. When risk appetite comes back, small caps are one of the first place that money goes. The Russell 2000 suffered for years after the pandemic. It was lagging significantly to the S&P 500, and now it has gained momentum as the stock market gained momentum. Now Total 3 is sitting under its own big resistance zone. It already is, Total 3 is the others, right? Whoops, technical difficulty time. Okay, it's already had a big move up in late 2024. Then it corrected and has been moving sideways since late 2025. So the difference is simple. Russell has already broken above its previous all-time high and is now moving higher. Altcoins are still building below their ceiling, which is exactly what Russell 2000 did before its breakout. This is why Russell move matters. It tells you the markets are willing to stay in risk assets for more than a few days. And if risk appetite stays, the next step is usually money moving from risk on in stocks to higher risk parts of crypto. This is when alts will have their own breakout, which could lead to a new high. All it needs now is that the Russell keeps holding above the breakout level, and alts will be the fastest horse. Now, if we think about it, right, we have a situation where probably, right? Again, I don't know exactly how this is going to happen. Of course, this video is for entertainment purposes, for educational purposes, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. But most likely is that the XRP breakout and the breakout in the crypto market will come when many least expect it. It's always a catch off guard move, but we're prepared, right? So listen, like I said, I don't have massive leverage positions right now. I'm less and less day trading just because there's not a lot of action, but I am ready, right? If we do have a movement, I have these smaller positions that are low leverage and they can take advantage if there is suddenly a breakout and I'm not there, right? If I'm not home or not, they're already open and they're low leverage. And they're low amount of value, right? That if I if something happens, I also don't get a big a whammy, right? So that's the tactic that I'm using right now. Again, every single person needs to decide what their own tactic is and how they're approaching things. That's very, very important to learn. That's what I've learned over the past few years. That sometimes you need a more aggressive tactic, and sometimes you need a little bit more laid back tactic, and that's okay. It's fine. We need to be dynamic. We need to change things up. We need to learn, and we need to develop. Right? That's the only way we can be successful in the future. And something that also we need to watch is the bond market, right? Over the last 2 weeks, Treasury yields have silently pushed higher. Soon, with the US EU trade war resurfacing, we will see the bond market's initial reaction to the headlines. As seen in April 2025, a sustained push higher in Treasury yield is something the Trump administration does not want to see. If yields continue rising on the back of the trade tensions, the bond market could be the signal of potential pullback on tariffs by Trump. The bond market has a lot of the bond market has a lot of the market's answers. Many people are anticipating that we're going to see a sell-off, and then Trump is going to backtrace, and then the markets are going to recover, like we've seen multiple times in the past. The only problem was for the crypto market on October 10th that he backtraced, right? But the crypto market did not backtrace because the crypto market had October 10th and everything that came from it. So it will be very interesting to see if we do have a big sell-off because of this whole Greenland situation. And there's a lot of things going on right now. I saw this video about this guy that he's ready to make a tweet about something, all right? And then he's like, okay, I'm ready to make a political tweet. And then he's like, suddenly gets a notification about Venezuela, right? And Maduro. And then he gets a tweet, and then he gets a notification about Greenland. And then he gets a notification about Iran, right? There's a lot of geopolitical things that are going on right now that Trump is in the center of all of them. And so it's interesting to see how the market reacts to these things. So far, there hasn't been anything too extreme, right? Which is interesting. But we'll see how the market plays out. And if we're just looking at XRP specifically, if we're looking at the daily chart, XRP here is at the bottom of the stochastic RSI. So with high probability, you can see XRP has gone multiple times to the bottom and then has come up, recovered, bottom, come up and recover, bottom, come up and recover, right? And each time, its own swing. Sometimes it's been a little bit more of a swing. This time was 23%. This time from the bottom to the top here, it was about 37%. So these are opportunities, right? Now, I don't know how long, right? It could be multiple days, right, that we're below here. It could be 2, 3, 4 days. But XRP has told us that over the past few months, of course, there was this big sell-off here that kind of messed everything up. But for the most part, it acts in a certain pattern. And if it continues to act with the pattern, we can take advantage of it. Does it mean, again, that it will act according to this pattern? No. Okay, so you have to remember that every single situation that you have. Interesting, I'm seeing Ethereum is up 1.44% on the day. I just read today that it has seen all-time high amounts of traffic, and there is a significant amount of Ethereum that is being waited to get staked. Plus, gas fees are super duper duper low. Of course, all the changes that they made, all the upgrades have significantly helped that. That will be very interesting for Ethereum. Some people are mad at Tom Lee for investing in Mr. Beast. I remember we talked about that. That they're saying that they wanted to get into Tom Lee's Bitmine for a pure Ethereum play, and they don't want that. I don't know. I mean, diversification is good, but I get what they're saying when they're mentioning that. It will be very interesting to see. Maybe Ethereum is what rides us here, or starts moving the market to the upside. We'll see what happens. Bitcoin is still here at 95,000. We still have that gap, right? The gap, the New Year's gap that never got closed. So we'll see if that ever gets closed. Listen, if it was a weekend one, I would say, okay, history has told us that it gets closed. But it was a midweek holiday gap. So I'm not sure that it will get closed ever. But we'll see. History has told us that gaps get closed. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Bitcoin at some point retrace to that 88,000 level. The first time I was like, I hope it doesn't happen, right? When we were back here and it went back to 78,000. First time, shame on me. Second time, I was like, okay, you know what? I think it might happen, but I really didn't want it to happen, and it happened. So, you know what? I'm rather that we'd have a pullback here very, very soon. Then we get into a situation where, let's say, we ride back to 120, and then suddenly we pull back again to 88,000. I think that would be a very, the market would get like, people would lose totally faith in the market again if that happens. And we don't want that to happen, especially for long-term investors. So it will be very interesting to see where it goes from there. Bitcoin dominance is kind of flat here at 60, so it has been there for a while. It dropped under 60, 58 for a bit, but we talked about this many times in the past. Real altcoin season won't start unless the Bitcoin dominance drops significantly even into the high 40s. So we're not seeing that yet, and it will be interesting. If you remember, we were waiting for about 70, and that never happened. We kind of got a break on that. Maybe that messed up everything. I don't know exactly to tell you. What caused the shift out of the 4-year cycle exactly. Some people are saying it's the money and where the money is coming and not coming. But it will be interesting to see how the next 6 months play out in the market. As always, don't forget to smash the like button. Check out the links in the description down below. Check out BYDFI if you are interested in that amazing XRP trade and earn here up to 10,000 XRP. Again, you go to my website that's linked in the description down below. You scroll down to BYDFI. You don't have to sign up here. This is just something extra. And again, link is in the description down below. I will get a commission. So thank you for that. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.